Vertical Aerospace first quarter 2025 earnings call live on Martyn Lucas along with CPI report. Please stay tuned. These events might slightly collide, but we have very good production and we will keep on top of it both. Thank you for joining. Let me just mute this. Thank you for joining. I see we have a decent audience. Hope you enjoyed the previous stream. This is just following up from Sensei. What you started, we will just finish it off. So for the starters, I'll just give you update on the current development of S&P 500. It's going slowly up. We are still waiting for the report. Nasdaq up as well. We are waiting for the report, which I will be covering live on the show, right on the screen. We are starting in 24 minutes, as well as the earnings call, first quarter 2025, Vertical Aerospace. We are the only channel covering this. We are the only channel covering Vertical Aerospace, apart from Vertical Aerospace. Why Vertical Aerospace? Because our channel has been now focusing on eVTOL. eVTOL stands for Electric Vertical Takeoff and Landing Vehicle. Actually, why don't I show you a video? I've got a very nice video in here that will explain it much better. So basically, we have a crossover between sort of a helicopter and a fixed wing aircraft. We have multiple rotors, and the main advantage is that we don't have to take off horizontally, we can take off vertically as well, which you will shortly see in the video. Just those who just joined, who just tuned in, we are covering first quarter Vertical Aerospace earnings call along with CPI report. The CPI report will come out in about 23 minutes. I'll be covering it live on the show. Don't worry, you're not missing out on anything. In the meantime, I would love to ask you to hit the like button. We need to hit 100 likes so we are get promoted by YouTube. If we get promoted by YouTube, we get better coverage, better audience, better reach. So what you can see below is a testing phase of an eVTOL, namely VX4, manufactured by Vertical Aerospace, who we are covering just today. So what you can see now, we have propellers at the up the front, and they tilt upwards, which you just could see in the video. These propellers get us up in the air, and then they tilt forward for the horizontal phase of the flight. So that is one massive advantage. Where you have limited space, the aircraft can just take off literally on the dime or on the penny if you are from UK, if you're not from USA. Another advantage is that it's electric and it's all green, very low emission. Another advantage is that these are designed, or the purpose of eVTOL technology is crowded cities. So these are supposed to be, they are incorrectly called air taxis. They are not really taxis. Think of it more as a very efficient network of underground or buses, because this vehicle, which has got 45 feet wingspan or 15-meter wingspan, it can't land in the middle of the street just to pick you up from a club. So think of it as a very efficient bus network, and very comfortable and very luxurious as well. So that is another advantage. When you look at crowded American, not only American, but crowded cities, look at the traffic. What would have been an hour and a half, this can do in the fraction, say 12-15 minutes, just through the air corridor. Another advantage are safety features and safety measures within the aircraft. One of them is, if you look at your traditional helicopter, we have only one rotor. If that fails, it's very difficult to carry out emergency landing. If the rotor fails and it still keeps rotating, yes, we can carry out the emergency landing to a certain degree. But if it breaks, which unfortunately we could witness very recently in New York. There were 6 or 7 casualties where the helicopter hit the river. There's no way you can have 100 most experienced pilots and they can't do anything. Whilst on this one, in particular, we have 8 propellers. So if one of them fails, we still have 7 more. And even if 2 or 3 fail, we can still override the remainder of the propellers and we can carry out emergency landing. So what you can see is sort of, this is navigating. You can see the propellers up the front are slightly tilted forward. So we are moving, we are navigating through the testing ground. Why I think Vertical Aerospace is a big player, because I think they can compete with Archer and probably Joby as well. For one, they are the only, with Joby, they are the only 2 eVTOL manufacturers who have been carrying out piloted test flights. The rest have either small-scale prototypes or remotely controlled prototypes. So they are fairly ahead in terms of piloted testing. Once you have pilot in the cockpit, I do apologize for that. Once you have, this is what happens if you don't pay YouTube Premium. Once you have pilot in the cockpit, you get much better feedback. If you get you get much better feel for the testing data, you get much better understanding how the aircraft reacts. Whilst if you do remotely tested flights, you still have to do the same with your pilot again. So you are sort of doing double work. Whilst Vertical, they are doing it all in one go. And they are also much more efficient. Their business model is much more efficient compared to Archer or Joby. They spend fraction, their operational expenses are fraction of what Joby and Archer are. And also we had massive news dropping yesterday. I will update you on that shortly. In the meantime, I would like to ask you to hit the like button. It's very important for this video. We are about 18 minutes away from the CPI report, so don't go anywhere. We are covering the CPI report as well as the first quarter 2025 Vertical Aerospace earnings call. Let's check who we've got in the chat. We've got quite good audience. Let me get rid of this. We've got quite good audience. We've got already super chat from Jerry and Elba. Thank you very much, Jerry and Elba. That's amazing. We've got a lot of new members. James, as always, and he was first. Well, he wasn't. Jerry and Elba were there before, but he was second. Anita, thank you for joining. The Hustle Brothers, thank you. Thank you for your support. JJ, Martyn is watching. Sasha, I think he's interested in eVTOLs, isn't he? Martyn again. Shane Holder, one of the newer members. We got Simon, Ken Paranormal. Thank you. Henrik, DJ Hayes, Mike. I haven't seen you for ages, Mike. You need to call in soon. Not on my stream, but you need to call in soon. We've got Andreas Johansson. We've got Sensei watching as well. Alex, all X, sorry. My fellow from Czech Republic. Ahoy. We've got Dalefish, LEB, Pauline Pick. Okay, we have quite good audience. We have 57 likes. Can we do 60? I think we can do 60. Come on, hit the like button. And if we... Look, I'll tell you one thing. If I'm not happy with the amount of likes, I'll just stop the stream. I don't care. Martyn's not gonna like it, but... I'm in charge now. Mike says my camera is broke. Camera? What? Let's have a look what Nasdaq is doing. Nasdaq is going up. What is S&P 500? Steadily, well, fairly decently pumping as well. Good. Vertical Aerospace is going sideways today. Yesterday we had massive pump because we had great news. We had great news which is giving massive advantage to Vertical Aerospace to compete with the market leaders, Joby and achr. Let me just show you this. We informed you about this yesterday live on the show. Let's just reiterate it again. Vertical Aerospace announces 100-mile hybrid electric VTOL program to serve defense, logistics, and wider commercial markets. Those who just joined in, we are covering first quarter of Vertical Aerospace earnings call, and also we are waiting for the CPI report, which will be coming out in 14 minutes. I'll be keeping an eye on both. I can manage it both, don't worry. So what is this giving us? This is giving us massive advantage because most of the electric aircraft or electric powered aircraft can cover about a radius of 100 miles, whilst now we are doing tenfold. I don't know what is the hybrid power unit, whether it's hydrogen or whether it's going to be diesel turbine or whatever. I don't know. We'll find out. But this is massive news. We know that Vertical Aerospace have been working on this for 18 months, as they announced in this news, and this can be a great game changer for them. And if you look at their operational cost, they claim, or the CEO, Stuart Simpson, he's done few interviews and presentations where he claims that they can deliver a European eVTOL for $1 billion less than the main competitors, which is achr and Joby. So that is, for me as an investor, something very attractive. So yesterday we had a massive spike of the stock. We were up, I think, 12% at the closing bell, and now the stock has been going sideways because we have the shareholders letter coming out. There's no update on the financial situation as far as I understand. That is their biggest obstacle. However, Vertical Aerospace are not sleeping. They have been working and they have been tackling their biggest burning issue. Those who just joined, don't forget to hit the like button. We've got 67 likes. That's great. Let's get it up to 75, and then I'll give you the CPI report. How about that? 5 more, 6 more, 7 more likes. Come on, let's do it. We can do it. 75. It's very important. If we manage to hit 100, YouTube will start promoting the video and more people will come in and more people will know about this amazing company. So the news announced last week. No, that one. Vertical Aerospace strengthens its board with appointment of 3 new directors with deep capital markets expertise. So basically we have J.K. Brown, Chris Haber, and Carsten Stendevad, who have vast experience in emerging market environment, emerging business and startup environment. And these should support the biggest challenge, or they should tackle the biggest challenge Vertical Aerospace have in their way. It's not the test flights, it's not the aircraft, it's not the manufacturing of the aircraft at this point, it's the financial side. We know that Vertical Aerospace currently have enough money to get them all the way through 2025 and possibly through first quarter of 26 at the push. However, we have some warrants that are to be exercised. We have, as of today, issued or shelved another filing for issue of, I think, 200 million shares. Again, I'll be looking. We will definitely hear about this in the earnings call. I haven't digested the information yet, so I'm full of it. I'm all over the place in my head with the numbers. But I will definitely keep you posted on this. As I said before, we are the only channel following Vertical Aerospace apart from Vertical Aerospace or covering them. Don't forget to hit the like button. We have 81. That's amazing. That's more than half of people of the audience. That's amazing. That's good. I love it. I love it. Before we move on, I would like to do one more thing, which I missed. I would like to invite you to my X account. Not only that you will help me to grow, and you will help me, support me on my way up. But also, there's a lot of insights and news and opinions I can't fit in my videos. So if you want to follow me, you won't miss these out. I'm getting good engagement with other profiles. Sometimes we have very fruitful conversations. Sometimes it's just pile of rubbish because people just don't listen or don't want to listen. But in example, I have been giving price target analysis for various eVTOL stocks. So if you don't want to miss this, definitely join me. I will reveal it. We have $13 and $15, the highest stock price target for Vertical Aerospace, and I think there's $9 as well. But definitely, if you wanna join me on my X, you'll find it there. What we have in the chat? We have good audience. Yes, we are 9 minutes away. We are 9 minutes away from the CPI report as well as the earnings call. Do you have any questions? Yes, we bought achr last night. We covered achr Aviation, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was the biggest live eVTOL show on YouTube. Over 3,000 views. I think there's 3,100. The actual recognized views, but Martyn will probably give you better feel for it, because this is only what YouTube presents. Martyn has got all the statistics and all the numbers. We've got Stacy joining. Hello, Stacy. Thank you for joining. We've got Vanessa, big achr investor as well, and we have William Myers. For eVTOL, for eVTL stock, what if I give you Sensei on the call, and he will tell you about the stock price analysis? Are you with me? Do you want to see Sensei? Drop in the chat Sensei. If you want to see Sensei's stock analysis for Vertical Aerospace, spam the chat with Sensei. Those who just joined, we are 8 or 7 minutes away from the CPI report. We are covering this live on the show. Don't worry, you're not missing on this. And we are also covering the first quarter 2025 earnings call for Vertical Aerospace. Let me just check if the stream is coming up already, if the cast, sorry. And in the meantime, I'm looking out for Sensei in the chat. Oh yeah, we've got first Senseis coming through. Come on, we can do better. We can do better. I can see only one person calling for Sensei. Well, you don't want to see Sensei? There you go. I will shove him down your throat. You enjoy.
On this channel, and he knows the ins and outs of everything eVTOL. He'll be linked to some more fundamental analysis from him, videos that he's made previously, and also going forward, him covering the earnings calls, him covering all the fundamentals coming out from the stock. So do make sure you stay to the end so you can get linked right into the fundamentals. I'll give you a good idea of the technicals. So here we've got the technicals for Vertical Aerospace. What are we looking at here? We're looking at the price of eVTL, where it IPO'd at $99. That might have changed since then through stock splits. You had a lot of price action up towards the upside, big moves towards the upside, big moves towards the downside, a lot of volatility on launch. I think what we have to do is just keep that in mind, but ignore it for our analysis right now. What you've seen here is typical with low market cap stocks or emerging markets. So then you got this big move towards the downside. I mean, probably a 90% drop until you found your most recent base. That was at $6.22.
We are covering the CPI report.
Broke above a resistance of $10, came back down towards that $6 range. So $6 is a key level of support. That actually turned into resistance. You had that one final push to the upside to $16, massive gap to downside, and you're trying to find your bottom again. All-time lows where you're sat at eVTL. Not right now, but in the last few weeks, you've seen all-time lows on eVTL. potentially $2.74 being your all-time low, currently sat at $4. So you are finding a base. You have seen the support at $3.53. We have looked at this downward sloping resistance. I think we looked at this before, and we identified some bullish divergence. What does that mean? You had a low, you created a lower low, but on the RSI, you had a low and then the same low. So a sort of a bullish divergence case here, which suggests the bears are exhausted, and you can potentially get this move to the upside. So right now, it's actually looking quite positive for eVTL. You've regained your level of support at $3.50. You're gaining momentum towards the upside.
Away from the CPI
you've got a massive gap between $5 and $9, which a lot of traders, if it gets that high, will be looking to fill. Remember, a lot of these gaps do get filled most of the time. So it is at basically all-time lows, back above support. If you like the fundamentals, again, nothing I say is financial advice, but if you like the fundamentals, the technicals are not looking too bad either. You've created all-time lows. It's very high risk. However, the reward is quite high as you're at these low prices. I would very much recommend you having a listen into Vaz to see what he tells you about the fundamentals, because right now, this, to me, is looking like a high-risk, high-reward stock to be looking at. Again, not financial advice, but when I look at a chart like this, it's created new lows, it's had its final flush liquidation towards the downside, bullish divergence, bears are exhausted, not much price action up to $6. You've got a big gap in price that it will be attracted to. That's like a magnet all the way up to $10. It's not looking too bad. So what I'm going to do is link two videos from Vaz, both sides. Sensei. Do have a look.
We are, sorry for cutting you short. We are 2 minutes away from the CPI report. Stay tuned. That will be exactly... I've now lost my cast. The cast is not out yet. It's usually few minutes late, so that will just fit in. If not, I'm happy. I'm more than able and capable to cover both. Don't worry, don't worry. So we are waiting for the cast. It will be any minute, and the CPI report, which I will show you on the screen, will be out in 1 minute 52 seconds. If I zoom this in, can you see it better? Oh, that's better. Can I zoom it even more? No, I can't. Right, we are 1 minute 40 seconds away from the CPI report, as well as we are covering the first quarter of Vertical Aerospace earnings call. We have 94 likes. Come on, we can do it. 6 more likes. 6 more likes. And we can get promoted. And we hit that mark of 100 likes. Come on, we can do it. We can do it together. 95. Somebody just unliked. 94. Thanks for that. We are 1 minute and 13, 12, 11 seconds away from the CPI. If the numbers are good, the market is going to go through the roof. The S&P has been going up, has been building up, as well as Nasdaq. That's even more aggressive. We are 50 seconds away. Are we going to see hit or miss? Let's have a look. 40 seconds. CPI report covering live along with first quarter 2025 Vertical Aerospace earnings call. 100 likes. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's very important for me and for the video, and I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I hope I will deliver satisfactory show today. We are 14 seconds. 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And do I need to refresh it? Oh. What's going on? Let's get rid of these notifications. Sorry. It's a 0.1%. compared to 0.3. These stupid notifications. 2.8 core inflation year over year. That's the same. Month over month, we are going down actually. And inflation rate 2.4. The core inflation month over month is down 0.2%. And as you can see, the S&P is literally off the chart.
Thank you for standing by. My name is Carly, and I will be your conference operator
is
today.
off the chart as well.
At
So
this
it looks
time,
like we're going to have a good, strong day.
To the Vertical Aerospace Q1
we're going to have some
2025 earnings conference call.
News for Vertical
All lines
Aerospace
have
as
been
well.
placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question and
starting
answer
now.
session.
Let me know if you can
hear it. If you
hear
would like
it.
to ask a question during this time, simply press star followed by the number 1
In terms of
on
questions,
your
we have
keypad.
submitted our questions.
Like
we might get our questions on their earnings call. I keep forgetting to say that.
I would now like to
so
turn the call
keep looking
over
out.
to
Don't go
Charlotte.
anywhere.
Please go ahead.
After the call, we are going onto the opening bell Martyn show.
Director of Strategic Finance at Vertical Aerospace, and I'm delighted to welcome you to our Q1 2025 earnings call today. Before we get started, I would like to remind you that during today's call, we'll be making forward-looking statements. These statements involve risks and uncertainties that may cause actual results to differ materially from those contemplated by the forward-looking statements. Any forward-looking statements we make on this call are based on assumptions as of today, and we undertake no obligation to update these statements as a result of new information or future events. We've posted an accompanying slide deck to the Investor Relations section of our website.
Those who just joined, we are covering first quarter
which contains
of Vertical Aerospace earnings call. Don't forget to hit the like button. We have very good audience.
Discussion about these risks and uncertainties, we've also filed a 6K with the SEC this morning. Now, I would like to hand you over to Stuart.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us and welcome to our Q1 call. I'm Stuart Simpson, the CEO of Vertical Aerospace. I'm going to cover three things. Firstly, to remind you why we believe we are set to succeed.
We have a presentation as well.
I'll update you on our progress during the quarter. And thirdly, to give you some colour around the big announcement we made yesterday of our hybrid program, a hybrid aircraft with a range of 1,000 miles. This represents a huge additional market opportunity for us across defence and wider commercial operations, all incremental to our base flight plan 2030 that has already been communicated. Given it is all about having the right capacity for moving people and things, this hybrid gives us an incredible opportunity because we have the largest dimensions of our tilt rotor pairs, and this puts us in a brilliant position to be able to dominate this space. Then, Dr. Limhai Somerville, our Director of Engineering, will discuss our battery and technical details and progress made on hybrid
and Nasdaq.
I'll then touch on where we closed the quarter in terms of financials before we open the call for questions. In November, we launched our Flight Path 2030 business strategy, setting a clear roadmap to lead the eVTOL sector by the end of the decade. We established transparent financial and operating metrics for 25, 28, 2030 and beyond, including a credible timetable for certification. As you will hear today, we have already made meaningful progress towards achieving these targets, further strengthening our belief that Vertical is going to be a winner in the sector. We have a best-in-class aircraft in terms of safety, capacity for both people and luggage, and comfort. We are the only eVTOL player positioned to serve the full global market by certifying to the highest aviation standards. We are moving at pace through the certification process with all phases of piloted flight tests on track to be completed in 2025. We have a highly capital efficient approach with a clear path to profitability, spending approximately 75% less than our peers for a superior product. And we have a lean and highly experienced team that has certified 30 plus aircraft and propulsion systems. Turning to our progress since the start of the year, it's been a quarter of significant momentum, and I'm pleased to share several key developments as we advance our mission to bring electric flight to customers. Starting with our test program, where we have achieved a number of important technical milestones, building on our completion of thrust-borne testing earlier this year. Most notably, we delivered record-breaking piloted high-speed taxi tests with our VX4 demonstrator. These tests validated key systems under real-world conditions and are a major step towards our next piloted wing-borne flight, which we anticipate starting in Q2. Completing piloted wing-borne will be an incredibly significant moment for us. Not only will this make us in the top 2 OEMs in the industry for piloted flight tests, but as a UK-based aerospace business, where unlike other jurisdictions, the burden of safety is shared with a regulator, having a joint liability with the company. As such, each phase of testing can only occur with specific approvals from the UK Civil Aviation Authority. As you can imagine, we are working incredibly closely with them to achieve this next step. To this end, we have submitted around 20,000 pages of documentation to the CAA to extend our permit to fly to encompass piloted wing-borne flight. The CAA's approval of this test will serve as a strong signal of their confidence in the safety, design, and ability of the VX4 aircraft to operate in public airspace. We expect to advance to this stage over the next few months. I would like to address one topic that has arisen in recent days. We are aware a claim was made that the UK CAA will be aligning their certification standards to those of the FAA. As you would expect, we have very frequent interaction with the CAA as our home regulator, both at the working level and with the most senior levels of its executive management team. Since that claim was made, the CAA's management have confirmed the following to us in writing. The CAA's position on certification of eVTOL aircraft is set out transparently in its certification of eVTOL aircraft publication, available on its website. This document confirms the CAA will use SC-VTOL as the certification basis for eVTOL aircraft in the UK. SC-VTOL includes the safety requirement that these aircraft demonstrate a catastrophic failure rate of 10 to the minus 9. There has been no change to this published certification standard for eVTOLs. The CAA is working with other authorities, including both the FAA and EASA, towards international harmonisation of eVTOL certification. Based on this written confirmation, it is clear to us that the UK safety objectives remain unchanged. Any such change would require due process, which includes a public consultation. As we have said for several years, we welcome attempts between global regulators to harmonise certification standards, but we do not believe this should or will be at the expense of passenger safety. We firmly believe that passengers will expect these aircraft to be as safe as commercial airliners, and we know our customers share that view. Safety is non-negotiable. We remain confident that by certifying our aircraft to the highest commercial aircraft safety standards globally, we will be uniquely positioned in the industry, with the only offering capable of serving all jurisdictions around the world. This brings me to another important point. These aircraft are being designed to carry passengers and will be certified as such, which is why we maintain it is absolutely critical to conduct a piloted test with one of our experienced test pilots in the cockpit under real-world conditions. All the data we have from previous flight tests, hours of modelling and numerous simulations give us total confidence in the capability of our aircraft and the success of our upcoming piloted wing-borne flight test. In terms of our operational goals for 2025, we are on track to complete all phases of our piloted flight test programme by the end of the year, including transition flight, the final stage of testing, giving us even more confidence in our certification timeline. The team's discipline and execution continue to prove that we have the right approach to certification and development, and that the VX4 is one of the most advanced eVTOL aircraft under development today. And as you know, we do all our development with a pilot on board to ensure that we get not just digital feedback and data, but information from our test pilot, real-world insight from some of the world's most experienced test pilots. This ensures the final aircraft will meet our customer expectations for safety, comfort and quality. Importantly, as we continue to progress on our priorities, we are on track to double our airborne test fleet capabilities this year as we complete the assembly of the identical twin prototype aircraft, which has already been moved to our flight test centre at Cotswolds Airport for finalisation of the assembly. This will also unlock further learnings as we install the hybrid powertrain that we referred to earlier in the call. Moving on to partnerships, we have made significant progress both commercially and strategically. Just last week, we finalised a key decision to advance our production plans. Specifically, we formalised and expanded our partnership with Honeywell to deliver flight controls and aircraft management systems for our certification and production aircraft. In addition, we have chosen Honeywell for Inceptors to make VX4 easier and safer for pilots to fly. This partnership and the use of Honeywell's leading systems will unlock the efficiencies and speed necessary for Vertical to lead the industry in bringing the safest and most scalable product to market. It is a contract of some significant value, worth approximately $1 billion over the next 10 years. Honeywell has been and will continue to be a fantastic partner. I'm delighted we have forged such a close working relationship over the last 6 years and can see this lasting long into the future. We are also supporting the acceleration of a global-wide industry charging infrastructure by adopting the combined charging standard CCS for the VX4, the same as Beta and Archer. We believe a unified approach to charging is essential for the industry to be successfully globally. It will help ensure seamless integration for OEMs, operators and infrastructure providers while reducing costs and accelerating the adoption of electric aviation. Using the CCS fast charging standard will allow Vertical's VX4 to achieve quick turnaround times, including rapid battery charging and conditioning for shuttle operations. Ultimately, our adoption of CCS will enable immediate interoperability with all CCS chargers of this standard, including Beta's growing network. Finally, we've announced the addition of 3 new directors to our board, building on the steps we took earlier in the year, with Donal Slattery rejoining as chair and Eamon Brennan joining as a board advisor. The 3 new directors are Chris Haber, J.K. Brown and Karsten Stendevad. With these appointments, we continue to strengthen our governance and strategic leadership with deep complementary experiences, particularly in industrial scale-up, and all 3 have phenomenal capital markets expertise. Chris, amongst other roles, has been the COO of Investcorp and Advent International. J.K. was a founding partner at Oxif Capital Management, and Karsten is currently Co-Chief Investment Officer for Sustainable Investing at Bridgewater Associates and a board advisor to GIC. Their combined insights and expertise will be invaluable as we enter our next phase of development. I will hand over to Dr. Limhi Somerville, our Director of Engineering, to provide some detail on our success in battery development, a team he has been leading for the last 6 years. It is the strength of the innovation and capability within this team that has enabled us to unveil details of our well-advanced hybrid program yesterday. It is tremendously exciting and unlocks new additional multi-billion-dollar market opportunities for us. This aircraft will have a range of over 1,000 miles, opening up additional use cases, most specifically within defence, cargo, emergency services and long-range commercial missions, where it is all about moving people and things. As I said before, our airframe is of a greater scale than peers, so we feel we are well placed to dominate in this space. All represent upside opportunities to the targets we shared in Flightpath 2030. The hybrid powertrain will be integrated into our next generation VX4 variant, with flight testing planned to start next year. Within Flightpath 2030, it is worth remembering that our battery systems will be replaced more frequently than the airframe itself, 1 to 2 times a year, depending on how our customers fly and use the aircraft, something akin to the razor blade model. This means into the 2030s, Vertical's revenues will reach a 50-50 split of aircraft to battery, with a very healthy gross margin of greater than 40% from the battery. In addition, there are most likely second life applications such as marine or CTOL, for example, which will provide an additional source of revenue for the business, again, not included in the base case Flight Plan 2030. I'm incredibly proud to say that Limhi is due to present to the Royal Society of London later this month. The Royal Society is the UK's National Academy of Sciences, and Limhi has been invited to give a presentation to this prestigious institution on Vertical's battery capability and how Vertical is set to lead the industry. That presentation will highlight the incredible promise of our proprietary battery technology. Over to you, Limhi.
Thanks, Stuart. Hello, my name is Dr. Limhi Somerville. I've been at Vertical Aerospace for 6 years and last year became Director of Engineering. I used to lead our powertrain and before that battery teams, which is what I will speak to today. Some information about me before I start. I previously worked on battery systems at Jaguar Land Rover and at Argonne National Laboratory in Chicago before that. I also spent 5 years chairing the Urukai Electrical Subgroup 1 of Working Group 112, leading on many of the existing certification standards accepted by EASA as part of the eVTOL means of compliance for battery and electrical system certification. So,
S&P
what I will share
and
with you
NASDAQ
today.
are
First,
selling off.
our battery system, team, capabilities and manufacturing approach are world-class. Second, we have evidence of this, having now achieved significant milestones that de-risk our path to a category-enhanced certification. And third, we're open for business, ready to sell our advanced battery systems to the world. Finally, I will touch on the last 18 months of development on our hybrid program and give you an insight on our quiet confidence in this area. Let's fly through it now. 1. World-class battery team, systems, capabilities and manufacturing. Our lithium-ion battery systems are the cornerstone of our aircraft, backed by more than 6 years of development. Here's what sets our battery apart. The team is comprised of a perfect blend of aerospace, automotive and control electronics experience. This has not happened by chance and gives us the right blend of performance, focus and certification rigor. Energy power, density and performance. Our battery packs achieve a 4:1 cell-to-pack ratio, delivering more than 200 watt-hours per kilogram, dependent on cell choice, including electronics, controls, sensors and wiring.
Morning
Cycle life
opening
and
bell
durability.
and the
Our
market
cells
pump
deliver more
after
than
the
800
earnings
full
call
cycle
with
equivalents,
Martyn,
with
as per usual.
approximately 90%
Stay tuned,
capacity
stand by.
retention, ensuring lower maintenance costs and reliable performance over the aircraft's life. Cost efficiency for the life of the vehicle. Our battery systems will be replaced much more frequently than the airframe. This means over time, battery costs drive a much higher proportion of the long-term high-margin revenue. Our battery systems have been designed to allow replacement of the cells with minimal cost, fast charging and cooling. Through millions of cell, module and full pack cycle hours in proprietary testing rigs, our system can be optimized to charge fast, getting the balance between turnaround time, lifetime and performance precisely how the customer wants it. Highest certification standards. We have designed our system from the very beginning to comply with the EASA and the CAA's stringent eVTOL regulations, which is the highest levels of safety in aviation. Software integration. We utilize a proprietary battery management and control system that is designed to the highest assurance level, achieving sensor redundancy, software optimization, and excellent prediction of remaining power. Manufacturing. Our business uses a capital light and efficient operating model pre-certification, whilst ensuring we have the intellectual know-how and capability to scale up when we're ready. I've seen firsthand the risks associated with early industrialization. Not only does it often consume millions in purchase of equipment that is unsuitable, but ultimately it can also force poor decisions on the design, as the now legacy manufacturing equipment is considered non-negotiable design hardpoints. 2. Developments de-risking EASA eVTOL certification. Our advancements significantly de-risk our path to the CAA and EASA eVTOL certification, targeted for 2028. The eVTOL framework sets rigorous and clear safety and performance standards that we can show compliance against with our technology. The key developments include: we're on our 8th iteration of battery design since Vertical Aerospace brought this capability in-house. We have been using our own batteries to power the VX4 prototype flight test for years, and we are on the 11th battery. Our latest design is the safest, lightest, and most capable yet, and we haven't finished, with 2 more development cycles in the next 12 months before locking down the final battery for our production aircraft. Let me give you an example of the benefits coming from each iteration. Between aircraft 1 and our current prototype, we saved more than 100 kilograms. That's 10% of our battery system mass,
S&P 500,
whilst also improving mechanical, thermal,
Nasdaq.
drop, and power performance.
Can expect
We've been
massive
developing
market
the
pump
technology in our
after the
battery
bell.
systems for years. Our first propagation
Stand by.
and drop tested battery pack was in 2020, with both EASA and the CAA in attendance. On April 9th of this year, we passed the 15.2 meter full pack drop test, which is comparable to the fuel tank drop test on a traditional rotorcraft. To be clear, we passed this same drop test on our battery system in 2020, 5 years ago. According to the requirements defined by EASA within eVTOL, we continue to optimize the design to reduce mass significantly, and then pass this test again this year. Passing that test is comparatively easy. Passing that test with all functionality present at the energy and power density we have is tough, and we've done it. Battery system propagation testing. We've completed nearly 200 propagation tests to date across multiple different battery iterations, aiming to not only meet the EASA SC-VTOL means of compliance 3 standard, but also understand our performance against them. On April 29th of this year, we passed our latest full-scale thermal runaway propagation on a subpack from our VX4 aircraft. We have 2 further optimization rounds to go as we continue to test and optimize the battery system further, and ensure we understand and can pass all of the nuanced edge conditions that are possible. What this means is that in line with the EASA's SC-VTOL requirements, if a battery fire were to occur on one of our vehicles in flight, we'd be able to continue safe flight and landing either to the destination or to an alternative landing port with full maneuverability of the aircraft, disembark from the aircraft, and all of this whilst ensuring the complete safety of the occupants and the aircraft itself. Whilst there cannot be any guarantees on timeline to certify, we've taken industry-leading certification standards, applied them rigorously, and iterated multiple times until we pass them using a battery that is exceptionally high in energy and power for the mass at a cost that makes the business profitable in the future. 3, we're open for business. We're selling our battery systems and new opportunities. One of our most significant investments at Vertical has been on the development of our hardware, software, and mechanical battery systems. We believe we have one of, if not the best battery teams in the world, and we're now ready to tell the world about what they've achieved, because they've achieved it. We've used this exact same approach of technology development on battery as we have on our hybrid program. Iterate quietly, make progress on the difficult technological work to show it works, and at a performance point we think is commercially viable, and then share that with the world. For the last 18 months, we've been working on a hybrid powertrain system. Our aircraft has a segregated electrical architecture for redundancy and to comply with the category enhanced requirement that means we can continue safe flight and landing after any single failure. This capability allows us to take off and land in all-electric configuration, cruise with the turbine operating when noise is less impactful and charging all the batteries, if it's needed, and then land again in an all-electric configuration. Obviously, this significantly impacts the range capability of our vehicle, as Stuart has just made clear. The first hybrid generation used a combustion engine, and the second generation will be a gas turbine. We are so far developed in this that we are planning to incorporate it into our third prototype aircraft to start flight testing in 2026. I really want to be clear on the technical significance of what we have done so far. We have proven the capability of a single engine to provide power to multiple electrically independent systems, including under edge case failure conditions. This is one of the most technically complex parts of development and critical to being able to operate under a category enhanced type certificate. Now we have done that, we will incorporate it onto the prototype aircraft for flight testing, coupled with our best-in-class battery systems, and start testing in 2026. This is also where our larger aircraft and cabin is beneficial, because the volumetric limitations on a smaller airframe would stop us from making such a change without consuming the available cabin space, and thus invalidating its value or requiring a completely new or significant change to the type certificate. In our case, the range payload benefits of hybrid can be gained by consuming the luggage compartment and a minor encroachment on available cabin space, which is very spacious in an all-electric configuration. Of course, in unpiloted configurations, there would be no need to encroach on the available volume at all. I hope you found that informative. I'll now hand back to Stuart.
Thank you, Lim Hai. As you've heard, we're advancing across every dimension: technology, commercial traction, and strategic positioning. We remain focused on achieving our certification goals, progressing towards production, and building long-term value for our shareholders. In terms of our finances, we continue to demonstrate sector-leading capital efficiency while investing appropriately for the continuing successful execution of our plans. Net cash used in operating activities for Q1 2025 was approximately 30 million, and our guidance for the spend for the year as a whole is unchanged at approximately 110 to 125 million. We closed the quarter with approximately $90 million cash and cash equivalents on hand. As I highlighted on the full year call in March, each time we report, there will be a non-cash financing movement relating to our outstanding convertible loan notes. This is highly volatile, driven by a calculation relative to the prevailing stock price. For Q1, this was a £396 million credit to the P&L, and just to be clear, non-cash. Just starting to wrap up, to remind you again of what we've set out to achieve operationally this year. You can see the points on the slide, and we're on track to achieve all of them. And in addition, we have announced our new hybrid aircraft. Before turning over to Q&A, I would like to remind you why we believe we are set to become one of the winners in the sector. Incredible progress to date, a clear plan for 25 and beyond, with a clear route to certification in 2028. We have a best-in-class aircraft set to be certified at the highest safety standards to be able to support our customers across all geographies, with a capacity for both luggage and passengers that is unmatched in the sector. We have announced our advanced hybrid program, creating an aircraft with over 1,000 miles capability and opening up further multi-billion-dollar opportunities. And we have an incredibly focused and highly capital-efficient business model. We focus on where we, as Vertical, can make a real difference, and then working with world-class partners for efficiency and effectiveness. Thank you again for joining us today. We'll now open the line.
You saw Archer Aviation last night. Over 120 million. Vertical Aerospace, 28.
At this time, I will now turn the call over to Charlotte for questions.
Thank you. So we just thought we would raise one question that we got quite a few people asking us yesterday on the back of the hybrid. So this is to ask Stuart, what is the impact on our cash spend and our cash burn going forward, given the hybrid announcement yesterday?
Thank you for the question. I think the first point to note is we've been working on this hybrid powertrain for some 18 months. So all of that development that Lim Hai and the team have done was within the cash spend that we've talked about over the prior years. So we've done a huge amount of the hard work in terms of getting the battery to talk to the motor, to talk to our EPUs. All of that was in the cash envelope we've already had, demonstrating the incredible capital efficiency by being really, really focused on what we're doing. So as of today, no change to our guidance for this year. The cash spend for this year remains projected to be in the range of $110 million to $125 million.
Thanks, Stuart. So back over to you, operator, for polling for the Q&A, but we just wanted to address that as we had a lot of incoming yesterday.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to remind everyone, in order to ask a question, press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. We'll pause for just a moment to compile the Q&A roster.
Just to remind you, we may have our question which we submitted to Vertical Aerospace. Actually, a couple.
Hey, good afternoon. Sorry. I was wondering if I could ask a little bit more on the certification front for the hybrid VTOL. Just is that a supplemental type certification, or would you have to start from scratch with EASA? And just along that, if you kind of go down the path of defense applications, is there kind of a pathway to revenue generation before EASA certification?
So, morning, Savi. Thank you for the question. In terms of the hybrid product, it goes within our current airframe. So everything that we're doing there, we're on track with. And to be clear, nothing that we've announced on a hybrid distracts us from the core underlying electric VX4 aircraft, which is well on track for certification in 2028. The hybrid will be certified as a separate aircraft, likely in and around the same time as the electric VX4, maybe slightly delayed because as you know, we haven't fitted it in an aircraft yet. That being said, we will have a full-scale piloted hybrid aircraft flying in Q2 next year. It's incredibly exciting moment for us. In terms of earlier revenue opportunities, we've been in deep discussions for several months with various potential customers. We can't really say any more than that, and in terms of short-term changes to cash flow guidance, etc. So I'm sorry I can't go into detail on that, but thank you for the question.
That's a good
Savi.
sign. That means they have something up their sleeve they've been working on. That's a good sign. That's a good answer.
Certification requirements, is that a fair assumption?
It does, depending on what the use cases are, yes. So there are potentially ways that this could be certified earlier, but we don't want to get into that at the minute. As I say, we're just incredibly excited to put this aircraft out there, having been working on it for 18 months.
Makes sense. I realize that was a multi-part question, so I'll get back on the queue. Thanks.
No problem. Thanks, Savi.
Your next question
We had a couple of
comes
good
from
answers in there.
Austin Moeller with Canaccord.
Hi, good morning. Just my first question here. So will the hybrid powertrain be integrated into one of the two existing airframes that you have to conduct testing next year, or would there be a third airframe that you would be integrating that into?
So, morning, Austin. Thank you for the question. The hybrid will be going into the airframe that is well under construction at the minute. We've done a huge amount of the build work on that. We'll be tidying that up over the next 3 months, 4 months. First of all, we'll be flying it as a all-electric aircraft. As I've mentioned before, we continue to drive the VX4 program to completion and certification in 2028. We will then retrofit the hybrid powertrain to that aircraft, and we'll have that flying in Q2 next year, Q2 2026. Hopefully that clarifies it, Austin.
Okay, that's helpful. And just to follow up, so on the EASA certification process, I think it mentions in the shareholder letter that you expect to complete the flight test program this year, but presumably there would be additional flight testing with additional aircraft units in the out years here as you work towards your type certificate, or how should we be thinking about that?
Yeah, good question, Austin. What we're referring to there is going through the 4 phases of flight test expansion. We're going into wingborne over the next couple of months, an incredible moment for us as a company. As you know, there's joint liability with our regulator, and when we do wingborne, we will be into public airspace. So it's a huge vote of confidence in us that our aircraft will be flying in public airspace. It's basically a huge sign from the regulator that they believe we're on the right track and are happy to say the aircraft is safe to fly in public airspace. Later this year, we'll then do the full transition, so incredibly excited about that. That completes the 4 phases. We then will have 2 aircraft capable of repeating that multiple times to generate more and more test information that we feed into our models and to continue to develop our understanding of the VX4. So hopefully that explains it. We will definitely be doing a lot more flying.
Excellent. Looking forward to it. Thank you for the clarification.
Thanks, Austin.
Your next question comes from Jesse Sobelson with D. Boral Capital.
Hey everyone, thanks for taking my questions here. The first one I have is it's a little bit of just a detail-oriented item here. With testing on the fully electric aircraft, I just want to make sure we're 100% fully understanding expectations for wingborne testing. When you say it's in 2Q25, is this phase beginning in this quarter, or is it expected to be completed in this quarter?
It will be beginning in this quarter. And as I just said, this is an incredible moment for us because we have a huge high bar to climb to be able to fly in public airspace. So it really does set us apart. It's an incredible moment for the company when that happens. And we are absolutely targeting that in Q2 2025.
Great. Thank you very much for the clarification there. And then, I did want to touch upon, the hybrid announcement. I think it's very interesting. With respect to commercial opportunities, how does the introduction of a hybrid electric propulsion system expand Vertical's capabilities from maybe focusing just on urban air mobility to expanding into regional air mobility? Is it possible that airlines could be purchasing this for use with short regional flights in the future?
Yeah, great question, Jesse. The capability of this aircraft is utterly transformational. It'll have a range of over 1,000 miles. It will have a payload capability of over 1,100 kilograms. And this is all because we have the best airframe in the industry. We always knew from day one that defense and longer range commercial opportunities would be opened up by a hybrid powertrain. So we've had this working for a long time in the knowledge that this would come along and be an opportunity. And of course, having the biggest airframe means we will be the most capable in this sector. More people and more things over a longer distance.
Great. Thanks for taking my questions.
Yeah, thanks, Jesse.
Our next question comes from Laura Lee with Deutsche Bank.
Hey, thank you for taking my question and congrats on all the progress. So my question is about the battery business that you talk about. So how will that business model look like? Is that like a direct sales or like as a service? And also any color on the timeline, like when you expect it to start generating revenue?
Laura, thank you. That's a great question. I'll do a short intro and then hand it over to Lim Hai. Our battery capability led by Lim Hai and now by the wider team is incredible. I'm so proud to be able to work with these people. What they've done is incredible. We see huge opportunity here as you look forward, both selling our battery and powertrain capabilities, but also the second life. So when we take the batteries off the aircraft, off the VX4, then opening up a new opportunity to sell those again for different applications, whether that's marine, CTOL, etc. With that, Lim Hai, maybe if you want to add a little bit of color commentary around that.
Yeah, thanks, Stuart, and thanks, Laura, for the question. So really, it's predominantly been around making progress against the battery system and trying to prove that we could technically do the things that we both said and we were required in terms of the technology itself. So that's kind of the bit that we've hit. We've been contacted for years now with respect to battery systems of individuals interested, and we've rejected
Get ready for market pump on the opening bell after the show. Stand by. Martyn will be here with his regular opening bell show.
Sort of informing everyone that we will start accepting some of those. We will start looking into some of those now, and certainly
big
in the
news.
coming weeks and months ahead. I would expect to hear more about that, precisely because we were getting really good values. We're seeing great performance, and we're kind of hitting lots of points that are quite difficult and problematic to be able to hit at a really good energy and power density. So hopefully that answers your question, or at least gives some color that Stuart was referring to.
Yeah, thanks, Lim Hai. And Laura, just to remind you, every airframe that we sell, there is an underlying amazing battery business here for us. Every airframe we sell will get 1 to 2 batteries a year at a greater than 40% margin. So within a few years after launch, we'll be 50% revenue from batteries, 50% from the airframe. And it's a fantastic ongoing business, the razor blade model. So really exciting part for us.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, appreciate the cover.
Thanks, Laura.
Your next question comes from Amit Dayal with H.C. Wainwright.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Great presentation today with all the color. This, with respect to certification in other jurisdictions, how should we think about what is taking place, for the U.S. market, the EU, and other opportunities or other jurisdictions you're pursuing?
Great. Morning, Amit. Thanks for the question. In terms of certification, as you know, our home regulator is the CAA. They are linked to EASA in terms of the standard they've set. They're both very, very clear. They're using the eVTOL certification basis at 10 to the minus 9, the same as a large passenger carrying jet. We believe this is what the market wants. We believe this is what customers want, and safety should be non-negotiable. Now, that is the most challenging standard in the industry. We know how to hit it. We can hit it. Because it's a little bit higher than others, we will be working with all the regulators around the world to passport the aircraft into those markets. We're extremely excited about getting to the US, getting to the Middle East, getting to Asia. Huge opportunities for us there. But in terms of certification, we'll do it in the UK, working hand in hand with them as our home regulator at the same standard as EASA, who we're also working incredibly closely with. Hopefully that gives a bit of a feel for it, Amit.
Yes, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. Just one more from me. How are you building, sort of customer relationships at this point? I know it's still early, given that you're testing and going through all the certification stuff. But in terms of facing customers and showing them the product, etc., what kind of feedback are you getting? Any color on that side of the process would be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Really, really good question. I think this is something that set us apart as a business. We have an incredible order book. We're very proud to have American Airlines, Bristol, Babcock, Japan, Kakao, GOL. Phenomenal customer base all across the world. And that's underpinned by our certification standard at 10 to the minus 9. In terms of how we manage the relationships, we've been listening and working with our customers from day one in terms of what the aircraft capabilities need to be. And that's one of the reasons we have the best airframe. We start with 6 full-scale business class passengers, and really importantly, they can take luggage on it. So we launch with 4 people plus 120, 130 kilograms of luggage capacity. No one else can do this. We can quickly expand within the same airframe, no big certification hurdle to 6 passengers. And how we maintain this relationship, twice a year, we bring our customers to us in Bristol. They spend 2, 3, 4 days with us twice a year, and we walk through, how the aircraft's evolving, get them to meet the team, but most importantly, understand their use cases, how they want to deploy it, and help them model out how we bring this to market in a way that's incredibly successful and profitable for them, and we can provide them with the aircraft that they need. So we're very proud of all our customers.
Thank you, Stuart. That's all I have.
Your next question comes from David Zazula with Barclays.
Hey, good afternoon, and thanks for taking my question. Can I just follow up on that? I think there had been an announcement from a significant UK airline that they were considering looking at another platform. I mean, is that something you're hearing from any of your other customers, that they're looking around, or do you feel like you have the home market pretty well under control?
Stand by.
David,
Market
question.
pump on the opening bell with Martyn.
One of the things I inherited when
show.
I took over as CEO was an order book that had been closed for a couple of years. Now, it's one of the things we are going to open up that order book this year as we deepen and expand our customer base over the coming months and year. So we will absolutely be having conversations, not just in the UK, but all across the world as we look to further bolster that order book. As we're getting closer to certification, we've got a confirmed date in terms of when we're going to certify. We know we can hit it. Now is a great time to really start opening up that order book again across the world. So hopefully that gives you a bit of colour commentary without going into specifics, David.
That is helpful. For Limhi, we've heard a characterization of battery as kind of a choice between erring more on the side of safety, erring more on the side of being aggressive and towards performance. 200 watt hours per kilogram seems like you are trying to push performance. So I guess one, would you agree that that is a fair characterization of the choices that suppliers are making on the battery side, and where do you fall, if so, on that sort of spectrum in your battery design?
So, David, I'll just take that and then hand to Lim Hai. Just to be clear, safety is paramount for us, non-negotiable. So we are doing everything, and I think we are the world leaders in this. What Lim Hai and the team have done is remarkable, and we will have a battery certified to 10 to the minus 9. Absolutely the best in the industry. So we must put that at the front of it. I think with that, Lim Hai, if you want to comment on David's other points about power density, etc.
Yeah, thanks, Stuart, and thanks for the question, David. Fundamentally, to come back to Stuart's point, that really is the goal always, is we have to be able to show that we're safe. And if you take EASA as an example, they gave an excellent talk a couple of years ago of basically what looked like a battery onion as they went through the different layers of safety that they expect in order to be able to clarify that at the Rotors conference. And that's essentially the same goal that we've gone for. But to give you an example, when we went from our aircraft 1 to our aircraft 2, the only thing that changed was actually, or the primary thing that changed, not the only thing that changed, but the primary thing that saved us mass was an optimization of the plastics that we were using. And so we were pretty good before, but not great. And then we optimized and we went through the plastics that we were using, both the selection, material selection, and essentially mechanically how it's structured. And so that's where the unit comes from. It doesn't impact safety in that respect. In fact, the safety got better because we moved more towards self-extinguishing materials and plastics. And so from that respect, to come back to Stuart's point, that really is the baseline. There's no way around that. You've got to achieve that. Everything that we're doing is achieving that whilst trying to optimize and make us better in terms of performance. Hopefully that answers your question.
Super helpful. If I could just squeeze one more in, Stuart. I didn't see anything, maybe I missed it, on EPU, and anything to announce there, or any preview you can give us on how you're thinking about the EPU?
So nothing we can announce other than the current ones we have are doing an incredible job. They're outperforming on every dimension. We've got a handful of options as we look to move forward through the certification and put in place a certification contract and production contract. So nothing to announce as yet, but we're really confident in that space, and we've got incredible EPUs on our current aircraft.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I'll hop back in the queue.
There are no further questions at this time. I'll now turn the call back over to Stuart for closing remarks.
Thank you. First of all, thanks everyone for joining. Really, really appreciate you taking the time. This has been an incredible past few months for Vertical. Absolutely transformational for the business, starting in December where we restructured the balance sheet. From that point on, raising the $90 million in January, the flight test progress this year has been incredible, and we are so close to wing-borne flying. As we said, we'll be doing that within the next couple of months, certainly in Q2. Absolutely fantastic, and will really set us apart versus other people because we're doing this under the auspices of a regulator that is validating our aircraft to be safe to fly in public airspace. We've signed our certification and production contract with Honeywell. We have strengthened our board, and really importantly, the announcement of the hybrid. We've been working on this for some time. We are so proud to be able to bring it to market today. A range of 1,000 miles, capacity of 1,100 kilos, low noise signature. It really does open tremendous opportunity for us across defence and other commercial markets. So I don't think we've ever been better placed for success. So thanks again for joining. Really appreciate all the questions. I look forward to updating you, hopefully, pretty quickly on some further news. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's call. Thank you all for joining. You may now disconnect.
Right. What do you think? Did you like what you heard? I think it was more interesting presentation than last night, wasn't it? Or at least from the investor perspective. First of all, great presentation itself. As always, Vertical, their presentations, their calls are amazing. You could see pictures as well, some videos. I was also playing their videos myself just to make it more entertaining, the stream. Just stand by. We are getting ready for the market pump with Martyn on the opening bell. stand by, bear with me, 10 minutes, and it will be over to Martyn for the bell open, for the market open. So great presentation. A lot of positive news. We didn't hear anything we wouldn't hear before or by now, but there will definitely be some news coming, I think fairly regularly. You could see Vertical have much lower operational cost. If you compare it to last night, Archer Aviation, they had, I think, 124 operational expenses, whilst Vertical have 28. That's a massive difference. That's virtually 1/5 of operational cost, and they are much more progressed in their piloted testing stage. So that's one of the positives. Massive mega bomb they just dropped yesterday is the hybrid power system, power unit. Not only that's something they would be working on, but they have been developing this for 18 months. And that is telling me it's just they are so confident on their future, because it's not like Archer when they just announce something and it's about to happen 2 years down the line, and then there'll be a lot of pressure on them. These just don't say anything, get it done, and then announce it when they are confident it's going to work, that the concept is going to work. So that's amazing. Also, we have partnership with Honeywell. I will be looking into that deeper because I need to understand what the partnership is about exactly. So I'll be giving you further insights on this. Vertical Aerospace have very good network of suppliers and contractors. They have very good partnership with, so that will be in their favor as well. The answers Stuart gave on the first customers, that's telling me there's something happening in the background, and we will hear about it soon. And we got also very witty answer on the certification acceleration. That's telling me if they have enough money, they'll probably be targeting, they have enough cash on their balance sheet, they will be targeting to improve their certification date. So let me know in the comments, do we have anyone invested in Vertical? What is the stock price? Martyn, are you here? I'm on standby, and I've got 123 Lucasades on standby. Martyn, Lucas investor, are you here? I'm a bit like Martyn, am I not? Stock price, it looks positive. I think it will shoot up on the market open. We have good CPI coming in. The markets will go through, maybe not through the roof, but they'll be bumping. Martyn will definitely explain more on this. Yes, send me at 28 minutes past. So we have 4 minutes to close this off. So let's wait for the opening bell. There's one more thing I was going to tell you as investors or traders in Vertical Aerospace. We have some warrants that will be exercised at certain prices. And looking at the stock price development, we might hit the first trigger price soon. So what I'm doing with my stock, I'll be waiting. When we start approaching to the price, I will be setting my sell order for certain part of my portfolio. When we hit that, possibly, more than likely, these warrants are going to be exercised and the stock will be diluted by issuing these warrants at a certain price. Obviously, the price will crash or the price will drop 5, 10, maybe 15%, depending on the macro and on the sentiment, on the mood. And then I will be buying in back again. So it's not massive yield, but I can increase my position for free by, say, 5, 10%. So these trigger prices, one is at $6, another one is at $750, and another one is at, I forgot it, it's a bit far ahead, $11.50. So just for you, if you are looking to enter Vertical, it's not a financial advice, it's just my own insight, my own strategy, my own investment strategy. It's fairly risky. and my portfolio is obviously tech heavy. It's focused on eVTOL technology, mainly on the market, but I'm trying to diversify. But if we, just so you see it on the screen, if you are looking for a good entry position, probably look out for these price targets, 6, 750 and 11. Obviously, the higher we progress, the more we can see the sentiment around the stock is improving, and this could be sending good signals to you as an investor. Vertical is going to 0. Yeah, you heard, you've been listening. Thank you. Obviously, the biggest obstacle is the financial side. If they get this sorted, I have no doubt they will compete. They will be chasing Archer and Joby. Okay, so do we have anything in the chat which I missed? Honeywell controls good company. Yeah, definitely, Stephen. Okay, Mr. Clock. Yeah, that's your opinion, mate. I'm glad you joined in and you watched the presentation with us. We had great audience. I'm glad we have so many likes. We have more likes than actually people watching. We have 137 likes, 135 people watching. I would have shown you on the screen, but then it will throw all my settings. What we've got, the stock price is not moving now because the market is not open yet, but definitely keep an eye on this. Archer yesterday, as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we go sideways and if we probably start slowly selling off. But again, that's just my own opinion. You do your own research, make your own financial decisions. Right, I think we have one last minute. Do we have any more questions or not? Before I let you go, thank you very much for joining. I do appreciate massive audience. As I've been saying, I'm very positive on this company. You can see, you can develop an existing, a functioning concept which looks very attractive to the investors and to the market for much less money if you choose different business model strategy. I am very positive on Vertical Aerospace long term. To me, there's one catch, is the financial side. Right, now you can go and join Martyn in the chat below or there, wherever your chat window is. If you click on the link, that will send you right to Martyn for the opening bell and for the market pump. I might see you later on today. We will have a wash down with Martyn if we are not busy. If not, you will see me soon. Take care of yourselves. Oh, there will be a video and there will be a video. Take care of yourselves and each other.